Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I got kind of a treat of an odd video if you are tuning in live. And even if you're not tuning in live, you can use this video to go check out another video that will be posted or might still be live when you see it. What am I talking about? Well, right now at 10 p.m. Eastern, if you are watching this live, Action4Assange, a vigil group of Christy, Taylor, Steve, and Andrew, all of which have individually come on my program, do a live sort of chat and discussion with guests about Julian Assange and what's currently going on with his case, freedom of speech, civil liberties in general, keeping the topic alive. Now, not only am I going to be on there in less than a half an hour from 10:30 to 11:30, right now, Ray McGovern is on there. And if you're familiar with Ray McGovern is a former CIA analyst who used to brief George H.W. Bush, the first Bush, when he was president. Okay, so this is a long-standing government figure and really an activist and somewhat of a whistleblower himself, talking about really how the sausage is made. In fact, he's in Fabled Enemies. Okay, and in Fabled Enemies, he talks about Israel being the fly in the ointment, and that nobody likes to make a movie about it or talk about it, but basically, talking about how their foreign and domestic policies in the Middle East really have caused us a great deal of trouble. And that film, again, came out in 2008. I haven't seen Ray or talked to Ray probably in almost a decade. I do have his one speech on this channel. If you go to the playlist section and in the speeches, you can see a really powerful piece by Ray McGovern. He's a great, he's a hero in my opinion. I don't do the hero worship thing, but he has been consistent. He confronted James Clapper about the fact that they never even looked at the DNC server. He has worked with Bill Binney and others. He's a top-notch guy. So just so everybody knows where to find this, because remember, this is going to be a really short broadcast. If you want to get a super chat in, maybe I'll take a couple of questions. But here's the YouTube channel right here. Action4Assange. If you type in Action4Assange, all one word, you'll find it. They are live right now. And let me just refresh it quick so you can actually, I think it'll show the video, or oh really, they still have 5 minutes? Maybe they're having some technical difficulty. But once again, I'm going to be on there for an hour from 10:30 to 11:30. Now, from 10:30 to 11, it's just going to be me. But Ray McGovern is going to join me for the second hour. So that should be interesting. Again, I haven't talked to Ray in forever. And for those that don't know what's going on with Assange right now, he's basically being held in solitary confinement. Pamela Anderson has said that she's been threatened by the warden. There's almost a complete media blackout as to what is going on with his case, how he can not even, barely speak, how he's trouble remembering his own name, how he hasn't had access to his lawyers, and yet somehow WikiLeaks puts out that email, that leaked email from the OPCW. I don't even know how to put it, because it's, supposed to be this watchdog organization. But what is it really? I mean, I guess it's kind of a watchdog organization because they're trying to stop the proliferation of chemical weapons, and the people on the inside don't know any better, that when they give their studies and findings to the United Nations, they distort the report, right? And this email exposes that, as does the leaked portion of the OPCW report that shows that the canisters were likely placed there and staged. Conscious Johnson says, just a thanks, justice for Assange. Absolutely. So, WikiLeaks to this day is not only relevant, they're extremely important. And the fact that our government wants to criminalize publishing documents like that is very, very worrisome. Extradite him to a country he is not from. Julian Assange is not a United States citizen. Australia should be in much more of an uproar. Think about the documentation that has come out outside of the DNC, which really was the straw that broke the camel's back on this guy, right? You look at Vault 7 alone. And you know how much more dark and deep and detailed some of that stuff is than the Snowden leaks. It's extremely important. It's relevant. So once again, you know, I'm going to keep doing this, but after this broadcast, 10:30 p.m., I will be live for an hour on this. So make sure to go over. They need the subscribers, guys. They only have 603 subscribers. Join what's going to be a very fun chat and lively conversation with Christy, Taylor, Andrew, and Steve. Steve has his own show, Slow News Day, which I also go on periodically. Unfortunately, I had a power outage this week when I was on, so we really didn't get to the meat of the potatoes of what we were supposed to talk about. But go over there right now on Action4Assange. That's what you search, okay? Action4Assange. And subscribe. Get ready for the stream. Ray McGovern's going to be in the house. And guys, like I've said, you know, Fabled Enemies to me is still a very important film. You know, I like to wrap up these videos telling you to go check out the documentaries. But if you don't understand that there were big role players financially other than Saudi Arabia, Pakistan in particular, if you don't understand that Israel had a large role on the ground in 9/11 just based on the dancing Israelis that were not only caught that day, but the second van with explosives that exploded that day that was connected to those people, to the network that had been arrested before 9/11 and after 9/11, that included more than just art students, kiosk workers, and more, to Amdocs and Converse and their access to our telephone records. These are all very real things, and Fabled Enemies goes over them. And then our own government's treason, the war games on that morning, and then the run-up to 9/11 that helped facilitate the attacks. 100%. Fabled Enemies is so important. Again, Ray McGovern is highly featured with people like Cynthia McKinney. You want to see Joe Biden put on the spot when Joey B's just a senator back in the day before he was Vice President Biden? You have to see Fabled Enemies. It is a must-watch. Loose Change Final Cut, also free here. My big picture films, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture, really laying out what you've seen progress over the last few years. And I want to say it again, guys. It's never been about left and right. It's about right and wrong. And today, you know, I'm not going to say who I tuned into, but I'm sure you can imagine. And the way I heard that leftists from cradle to grave are just inherently evil, and once again, it's the party of Satan, and, you know, that all of them promote pedophilia, and they want to have their way with your kids. I mean, give me a break. I know a lot of you out there that may lean a little left are certainly not Satanists. I know that you want to help me expose child predators just as much as the next person. And, you know, WikiLeaks has helped do that. You know, there was a reason that they tweeted out to look for clues for sex trafficking in those emails. You know, that wasn't a political move, all right? And that's, again, another reason they don't like Julian Assange. Before Julian Assange started WikiLeaks, he helped take down another pedophile ring with law enforcement. Did you know about that? Look into that. All right? They don't like it when you go after the predator class. They don't like it when you speak out. And unfortunately, free speech in this country is being eviscerated. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. And there isn't much of an anti-war movement. So once again, props to the Action4Assange folks who are live right now. They should be live right now. Let's hit the button again. Let's refresh. Let's see what we got. And there they are. Oh, Ray's got a new beard. I am excited to talk to Ray McGovern. Man, it's been a long time since I've talked to Mr. McGovern, but he's done some incredible work. I'm very much looking forward to speaking to Mr. McGovern. And if you like these videos, guys, thumbs them up, share them with others. I'm doing videos on a plethora of subjects, from Epstein to the election 2020 to the Conor McGregor cover-up. Let's not let him fight in January. It's like a little over a month away. Remember, he is alleged now, about a year ago, December 12th, to have brutally beaten, raped, and sodomized a woman where she had to have a tampon removed from her cervix, okay, in front of people. Bruised her up, bleeding, choke marks, she bit him. I mean, come on. and it's totally being covered up in the United States. Why? Disney's a billion-dollar company, multi-billion, probably a trillion-dollar company at this point. Maybe multi-trillion. Disney is probably a multi-trillion-dollar entity. And just so you know, they own ESPN. ESPN is now in bed with the UFC. WME Entertainment owns the UFC. That's big-time business. And these are the realities of the world. That's why that story is very important. Transhumanism and much more right here. So thumbs it up, share, subscribe, join the Burmist Brigade. And if you want to hear from me for about an hour, from 10:30 after this till about 11:30 p.m., half an hour without Ray and a half an hour with Ray McGovern, please go check out the Action for Assange crew right now and give them a subscribe. And if you're watching this on the replay, go check it out anyway. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.